Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to Ebony Championship Wrestling, where we hit the mat running with all things WWE. We dive into the biggest moments, the hottest rivalries, and we give the boldest predictions in pro wrestling. John Cena tells you that you're the problem. Tiffany time takes flight, and the Street Profits finally get across the finish line. The boys are here. Wrestling is cool, and this is the ECW show. Let's get it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, wrestling fans across the globe. This is Ebony Championship Wrestling. Please welcome to your screen the man of 100 holds, Montay, a.k.a. Coach Montay.
Oh, it feels good to do that, man. I forgot to do it last week. What's up, ECW fam? Good to see you, my brother. Back on screen. The trio is back. Exciting week of wrestling. Once again, this road to WrestleMania is full steam ahead. Let's get it tonight. Let's get it.
You can follow him on Instagram at Coach Montay24. Rounding out the chat room is our resident tribal chief, Griff, aka Griff Nation.
What's up, everybody? The greatest and the best healing podcast land across the universe, man. It's good to link up with all my brothers here tonight. We're in full force and looking forward to talking to y'all tonight. And let's get the show on the road.
Find Griff on Instagram and on X at GriffNation84 and CGriff84, respectfully. Thank you. I'm sorry, Griff, my fault. And I am your host, the Jackie Miles, and it's always good to be back on the screen with the boys. I got a little ahead of myself there as I was excited to talk about finally being back on the screen with the guys. As I took 1 week off, Coach took another week off, but Griff is always going to be on your screens as it seems, so make sure you tune in because Griff's always going to be here. We appreciate that. Boys, how's everybody doing tonight? Everybody good? Griff, how you feeling?
Well, great, bro. I'm glad to have you back on. You know, we went out to last week and we had a new host on the show. And like I said, you know, first time in the last 3 weeks, so all three of us is on full force. Our guys have been overseas for the last couple of weeks, man. We talked about it last week. We got something new and fresh in this week. I'm waiting to get you guys pick your brains and get your opinions tonight, well as mine. But I'm just excited, man. We on to the road to WrestleMania. We almost near, and we got a great fresh start. This happened, so looking forward to chopping it up here real quick.
It's good to see you, brother. Coach, how you feeling?
Good, man. Good to see you. Like you said, likewise. It's good to have the three amigos, musketeers back in full effect. We're locking in, man. You know, it's always exciting. We're a month away from 41 in Vegas, and finally, as I said last week on the show, we got to let stuff breathe and play out and see and let the build just be the build. And each week is more interesting, but obviously, I cannot wait to get into the first promo that he cut, and that set the tone, and it was even more fresh for being overseas. So another hot Brussels crowd. So shout out to them. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump right in as we get a promo from John Cena that essentially tells us that he's always hated us for cheering Let's Go Cena and Cena sucks, no matter which side you were on. So I'm intrigued. How do we feel about this promo, gentlemen, as John blames us for everything? Coach, let's start with you.
I enjoyed this. I was looking forward to it because the biggest question was what was going to be his look. Was he going to change the look? Was the music going to change? And I was shocked that nothing changed. But when he started talking, he said, yeah, everything is justified. He took the same old school one-on-one promo of deflecting it back on the fans, of course. But after listening to it 5 times, y'all, he was right. And, you know, once again, hey, the fans, they feel it. You know, they will turn on you in a heart. He basically showed how fickle they could be. Because when I'm winning, when I'm putting in work, when I'm about what I'm about, and then now you want to boo me, now you want to turn on me. That he heard all of that for all those years, and he's finally getting his get back. So the psychology was there. I'm excited, man. I'm pumped to see him do it, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. They haven't really gotten to anything yet. But no, that was great for him. I was damn sure excited for him and on his side. It was needed. Yeah. What you think, Griff?
Griff.
John Cena is right. It wasn't that he was right. He is right. I felt that. I really felt the way when my
Yep.
favorite part was when he said none of y'all SOBs checked on me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I felt that because, and I know we all have been that route before. When we pour our house up, we give everything in, we sacrifice, and nobody checks on us and say, hey, how you doing? Or, hey, is there anything you need? Because we're always so busy helping. And at some point, you hit a boiling point and say, man, hold on, like, I gave y'all everything, and then and y'all didn't even think to check on me, so that was powerful. But what really started off for me was the walk to the ring. No more, pointing at the camera saying "Let's go, Stu," and running out. He typically walked, and then you saw the cameraman went behind him as he was walking. Everybody was just cheering, and you had some that was cheering, some that was booing, some that was still sticking their hands out, even kids still trying to touch him as he's going out. He just walked strictly like straight through, didn't acknowledge nobody or anything. But going to your psychology part, science part here, coach, is when he got to the ring, he let them get everything out. He let them chant. He let them yell. He let them scream. It's been a minute, fellas, man. But I was so excited to hear, and I can't wait to start chanting again. Not just let go Cena sucks, but when the music hits like John Cena sucks, so they brought that back. So many combustible elements, past, present, and future, from the song chant to let's go Cena sucks, until now Cena's heel character, bad guy as well, man. But I really, really enjoyed it and watched it over last couple times. It was a long segment, but I felt it. I really like, okay, I feel your pain, and just like KO, you're right, bro. Like, you're right.
What
I
you
think the
Jackie?
best storylines, I think the best promos, the best wrestlers are steeped in truth. And if you can find some truth in whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's being a heel or being a face, if you can find some truth in it, then people are going to gravitate to it. And this is a prime example of it, because even though he's speaking the things that he's speaking, everybody's like, yeah, that was the greatest promo ever. And it's like, no. You need to listen to the things he's actually saying, because he's turning the mirror on you as a fan and the things that you've done over the last 20 plus whatever years. You've rooted for his demise. You rooted for him. You've turned against him when all he did was, show up every day. And now all of a sudden that he's turned heel, and now you're angry that he's done the thing you've wanted him to do. So I think there's always, you can always grab onto it when there's some truth involved in it. And that's exactly what we saw in this promo. You mentioned KO earlier. Now wrestling, we know the history of it. We know exactly who is supposed to be turning heel on what. We know all the things. And so when you do things like this and surprise us with turns like this, now it makes it that much more exciting. So I'm excited to see what he does. I can't say I loved the promo. I can't say I hated the promo, but I'm just excited to see where he goes with this, because it's like, damn, he didn't run out. He still got on the shirt. He still got on the same music, but that's a whole different John Cena. So I'm excited to see, where we go with this next and how he handles Cody on a weekly basis, because now it looks like he's going to be showing up more often.
Yeah, that little John Cena fan caught it straight, but that's the blueprint. That's the meme for the rest of his heel run. Like, there's the lost John Cena fan, but it's good when you can fool the kids, when you can fool the audience. Like, man, like, hey, John, you know what? You're right. Yeah, we are, as fans, we are pieces of shit, and that's pretty much how the way he made them feel, and that's what made it. That's what made it better. And what I said at the beginning, as far as the look and the music, I was picturing, like, okay, is he gonna go with jet black hair? He's gonna come with corporate suit. Is he really gonna like milk this similar to what Hogan did? But this is the flip of that. Like, nah, y'all, you gonna get me, but let me speak my truth, and that's what makes it even more deadly. So yeah, I'm all for it. Yep.
Everything he did was, calculated. My thing was, and he did it like the first 5 or 6 minutes, was I really thought his first appearance, he was just really gonna show up and then just drop the mic or don't say nothing at all, just to piss them off even more. we don't need the look change. We don't need a music change. We don't need a attire change. Like, I was really, honestly, I really was surprised. Like, he started talking after walk. I'm like, oh, he's not going to say nothing. He's really going to piss him off because that's more heat. Because, yo, bro, we trying to hear what you got to say, and you still ain't talking. Like, you came all the way over here not to say a word. Like, bro, what's up with that? But, he did what he had to do. But, like, Jackie said, now we're flipping that mirror, and it's going back to saying, like, no, he's right. That's why I didn't say, John was right. No, John is right, because we had tormented him. We hated him. We couldn't stand him. We chanted against him. And now that he went heel, after all these years, everybody been like, John Cena need to go heel. Like, all they Make-A-Wishes and all these kids he kissing on, Vince McMahon need to go ahead and make him go heel. Now he heel. We got a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like you said, I'm here for it. I'm waiting to see what's next. Yep. It was a great job, but overall, I felt that it is like, again, we've been there to the point that we go out, look out for everybody, but who's checking on us and looking out for us? And that was the whole I got out of his whole promo segment.
What were people expecting from John Cena, right? You wanted him to turn heel, which meant that he was going to do something negative that you were going to disagree with. What were you expecting? You knew he was going, if he was going to turn heel, he was going to do something that's going to make you hate him. And that's what I've said the whole time as far as like the Street Profits turning heel. If they're going to do it, they need to do something that makes me hate them. They're a little confusing right now, but we'll get to them in just a second. But if you're going to turn heel and I'm going to hate you, you need to do something in order to make me hate you. And John has done exactly that. But you made a great point, Griffin, saying that he was just himself. He didn't change anything. He didn't need to change anything. He was just we're now getting the brainchild of 25 years of John Cena thinking, oh, what if I do turn heel? How is that going to look? That's 25 years straight, right? Like, he's had all that time to think about, if I ever do it, this is how I want to do it. And now we're getting that product, and he's going to make you hate him. And I appreciate that as a person who enjoys heels. Right. Now, on the flip side of that, if we could get those Street Profits going as far as like knowing whether or not your heels are faces, and I'm not saying that we have to know what they are, but it would make it a little bit easier to root for them right now. They do indeed pick up the win over DIY and are now the tag team champion. But does it feel right, or am I the only one that's like, this something's off with this? Griff, let's start with you, my brother.
I'm kind of in the middle of it. Kind of feels off a little bit. All because A, SmackDown, B, overseas, C, weeks prior to WrestleMania. Also, I mean, if this is the payoff for them to get in that big crowd like that, I think for me, in my heart of heart is, and I've been saying it on the show for the last several weeks when we talk about it, is like, job's not done. You know what I'm saying? Like, till y'all get the belts, okay, I'll start talking. We got the belts, but then again, happy, congratulations, all that. But to your point too, Jackie, is like, are we going up with you guys as these bad guys and heels, or are we still going back to, now you got what you want? We're going back to the Styrofoam cups. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of at the end they winning the belts, I kind of seen the footage afterwards. They kind of went back to the Styrofoam cups in the crowd and getting hype and everything. So this was like, if we're going full blown heel or the bad guys, like once you got the belts and got your pyro, I expect y'all go straight to the locker room, no hand files or anything, which I didn't see. So it don't feel it. I'm happy for them, but when I say it don't feel right, it's not that they want it. It's just like, I'm just in between. Like, okay, what direction are we going with you guys as characters? Are we going to be the bad guys, or are we going to be the good guys? And right now, it's like in between. You're giving us the bad guy persona, but you're still portraying the good guy characterization. If that makes sense,
Coach.
I was happy for them because it was a great match. And you heard last week, I didn't call it. Me and Griff sat up here. I sat up here and told Griff, it ain't happening. I for sure thought DIY was going to Mania with the straps. But no, for the 2 years of this podcast of us talking about them, finally getting over the hump. Guys, 4 years since their last belt. So that's something to celebrate. Now, when we get down to the criticism of it, remember what I told you guys after the Rumble hit, when we talked about our reaction to the Royal Rumble? That all of that was botched. I think had they did that, Jackie, you always look for give me reason to hate you. Had they did it that night, to where they just go full rogue and just like, no, we on this side, like, period. Like, we are giving you a reason to hate us. We gonna do this heel run. We gonna do it right, and then put the straps on us. Yeah, sure, DIY. That's a heel versus heel match. Great, but no, still don't pander to the crowd. Do cut your heel promos. Give us, just kind of get us out of this gray area. To all of our points, we are still confused, but do something to get us out of this gray area. I love the win. Great, happy for him, but just similar to what Griff said, what direction are we going? Because your reign will still be lukewarm because the crowd is still confused. So I'm happy for him with the straps, but something got to shake. You got to, hopefully this next promo shouldn't be as celebratory. Like, maybe you come at the crowd, say something stupid to let us know you on that side.
Yeah, I think it's just right now when they attacked when they attacked DIY and they attacked whomever it was in the match. I can't remember.
It was Motor City Machine Guns. Yeah,
when they attacked both of those groups, it didn't signify which side we were on.
Right.
Are we just trying to show that we are a hungrier group? If that's the case, cool. I'm good with that. Let's be hungry. Yeah. Let's get after it. To your point, Griff, what's next? Because if we're only showing that aggression to show that we're hungry and we were going after the titles, then we're going to lose them soon. My opinion, nobody else's, right? We're going to lose them soon just because we don't have anything to grab onto. Very similar to what I said about John Cena. There needs to be some truth that I need to grab onto. There's something that's got to hold me to make me want to root for you, Street Profits. Yep. I'm already rooting, but I'm saying, like, hold me into that group, right? Like, do something that's gonna make me grab on and say, like, I'm absolutely rooting for these two to be successful. Dawkins Fitz is not one of those things that helps me want to root for them. God bless, brother. Can we? Damn.
From Ohio, what do we expect?
My God.
First it was Apache Bears, and then we got out here with these shiny suit vests. Like,
they don't have
two hoodies and all of that.
Yeah, what happened? Why he do the hoodie thing where he took off one hoodie to reveal another hoodie? What was that? I'm not hating. I'm just trying to root for the people I want to root for. But you got to help me, bro. You got to help me. Damn. I can't be rooting for that. Jesus. Yo. I'm sorry. That's taking us off. But I am happy for the win. We got a dub. We're not going to sit on this show and act like we haven't been pining for them to get a dub in the last couple years. So we are 100% happy that they got the win. I'm just still a little confused. Go ahead, Griff.
Question, fellas. I want to play a little devil's advocate on this one. All right, hear me out. Do the Profits continue to need a mouthpiece? And if your answer is yes, shall it be B-Fab? Or because of where this character is going with Miss Bianca later down the road, can Bianca switch up and be the mouthpiece, and then that could also be a future singles feud between her and B-Fab down the line?
I was thinking that as she was at the table with the signing with EO, I said, go ahead and get her turned sooner than later, especially with the Profits. Yes, that was the dream that was a dream 3 I was thinking about the whole time. So yes, Griff, like, let's do it sooner than later. Oh, Jackie, we got more thoughts, but I'm just responding to that. Yes, I want it for sure.
While it sounds great in my universe mode and fantasy booking, I say no, because at some point they got to stand on their own 2 feet. Both of them are very capable of speaking. It's not like they're inept when it comes to speaking. They both can hold the audience captive when it comes to a promo. So it's not like they got to insert somebody in there to speak for them. They do a very good job on the mic. But and if you add Bianca to it, you kind of water down what she's doing in her singles situation if you add her to this group at this time. Not to say that I would never want to see it or that it can't happen, but I think that the Street Profits can stand on their own 2 feet and they can speak for themselves. It's not a promo thing. It's a storyline thing. And I don't think it's a booking thing, because we are seeing them on screen. So it's not like they're not being booked anymore, right? Like, we're not complaining about that. We're complaining about the product of them that we're seeing on the screen. And I don't think it's a mouthpiece thing.
Yeah, and I was talking specifically not to Griff, not to not to be the mouthpiece per se for them, but just like to join a little mini faction thing. Like, hey, we here. I'm with my husband, and and my brother-in-law, basically per se, and we just gonna generate heat off each other. That's what
But
I was thinking in my mind. Yeah, just to Bianca can still do her own thing, but kind of like build a faction and just to generate more heat. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it was no like right or wrong answer. Again, something the majority of it's a fantasy
Yeah.
booking, but also just to kind of get the brain scrambling. Like, what if? You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
not saying it can't happen, and especially the way things been going the last few months, you never know. You know what I'm saying? But I think like Jackie said too. They have to step up. This is the criticism and the part that we was talking about and I was alluding to earlier, like trying to figure this out. So I think before you add a Bianca to that piece or if they ever go in that direction, let's get this identity together first. Like, we're gonna be bad. Okay, let's
Mm-hmm.
stay bad, and then let's see if we can if there's a space later down the line to enter Bianca, you know what I'm saying? Because if you can't figure your identity out, then it's going to water
Mm-hmm.
Bianca down, you know what I'm saying? But if there's identity there, and once we put Bianca out the equation, maybe add to that later. But I think the main thing for them, let's get their identity first, find out we're going to be the bad guys, and let's find ways to make us hate y'all. Although we still love y'all, going to support y'all because you one of us, but give us a way that we can say, yeah, I can't believe you did that, bro. Like, yo, the dog can step it up too.
I've been saying it since day one. Make me hate you. If you can make me hate you, then you're a good heel, right?
Yep.
If you can make me hate you, you're a good heel. And until they do something that makes me switch sides, then they're just gonna flounder in that gray area, and I'm not gonna know what to do when they hit my screen. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, boys, let's go ahead and end tonight with our lightning round, as we always like to hit on as many topics as possible within within a small amount of time. We're going to put 3 minutes on the clock. I'll bounce some questions to the boys, and let's see the answers that they give. Let's start off with Charlotte and Tiffany as they steal the show, literally taking time away from Ms. TV, which is something we need to discuss.
Thank God.
And Tiffany takes a dive off of the Titantron. Are you starting to get interested in this feud, or were you already here, Griff? Because I know you are a fan of Tiffany in particular. So, Griff, are you interested in this feud?
I was already here. It was just a matter of time. Just like I said on last week's show, Charlotte did, struck the front punch and let Tiffany know, like, hey, this is a different game. This ain't Nia and the rest of the girls. This is me, you know what I'm saying? So right now, you already showed me that your back turned, you ain't paying attention, you locked in. So Tiffany took that and said, okay, let me show you who I am. You know what I'm saying? It's Tiffy time. It's been Tiffy time since she been acing that leg injury. So, yeah, very vested now, to see where this goes.
Coach?
Oh, as I said last week, it was a snooze fest for me up to that point, and this is finally the shot in the arm that it needed. The feud officially started with that brawl.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm here to see where they're going. Hey, the hell, they can brawl every week now. That's something to keep us interested. But yeah, and then Tiffany's athletic gas put over the top. So yeah, okay, great. Now we're here.
We oftentimes talk about whether or not a feud needs a face or a heel. This one needed a face and a heel. I needed to know that Charlotte was the heel, and I needed to know that Tiffany was the face, because otherwise it just looked clunky and it didn't look good. To your point of last week, Coach, I was bored with it, and then now, like, okay, I'm ready to go with this. Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, which seems to be a sequel from last WrestleMania, if I'm correct, Griff.
Cash in.
The cash-in situation. Yes. Okay, got it. Are we interested in this match? Are we with this one, or are we tired of Damian Priest, Coach?
No, Drew locks in on an opponent. He needed an opponent, and he needed a story. He's too hot. He had too hot of a 2024 not to have a great WrestleMania match. I was skeptical at first about Priest getting this call, but going back and seeing the history of their interactions, Damian actually has held Drew back from some moments. And so now this is Drew's time to kind of whip his ass on the grand stage. So I'm here. Yep. Let's finally get it.
Griff?
Yeah, that was my whole point. You know, when Drew goes to them, go back to Scotland, had them little dark meditation days. He brings back all those memories and put them all together. And when they show those memories of the cash in, the money in the bank situation, everything else, I'm like, yeah, he really had his eyes on Damien, and yeah, he's gonna get his lip back for sure for this guy.
I think I'm just over Damian Priest, so I'm absolutely rooting for Drew McIntyre in this one.
Me too.
Gunther and Axiom put on a show and had you on the edge of your seat during Raw the other night. How'd you guys like this match? Quickly on this one, how'd you guys like this match, Griff?
Big opportunity for Axiom to get the primetime spot to go against the heavyweight champion, and Gunther getting some conditioning in before the match. But this was definitely a great match. But you know, definitely he held his own, but not against the ring general.
Coach,
it's like I said, staying in ring shape match with a great competitor in front of that crowd, solely to poke fun at Jay. We know where this is going. So, but I love the match. It was great. Even though Gunther, gave them muscle, but no, it did what it was supposed to do. Yep.
I'm not a fan of Axiom on NXT, but he definitely got a fan in me when it came to Monday night. Yeah. Which match was better, Penta versus Kaiser as far as the no holds bar match, or Randy Orton versus Carmelo Hayes on SmackDown Friday night? Griff?
You know what? Because this is hard. Good question.
That's a great question.
Because of the chemistry and because of the crowd in Brussels, man, I'm gonna have to give a little bit edge over Penta and Kaiser on this one.
Okay, Coach.
Yeah, I'm agreed. Penta and Kaiser, they pulled out the stops. Obviously, the hot crowd for Celo, Melo, all of that. It was too hot. But shout out to Melo, man, for always being in there with the greats and selling it, being him, man. That's the star. That's my guy, man. And they still see a lot in him. So his time is gonna come for sure.
He's taking me back to like the 2000 SmackDown days where it's like, I'm just here to wrestle.
Yep.
And I'm gonna be entertaining, but I'm gonna put on a match to make sure y'all know what wrestling is. And he does it every week. And I appreciate the run that he's on, even if he is taking losses. I'll take it. So
it's time coming.
It is. I agree with that. Who's the bigger threat to their respective titles? Is it Zelina Vega to Chelsea Green, or is it Ivy Nile to Lyra Valkyria? Coach?
All right. I'm going to go with Ivy Nile. Chelsea got too much backup. She got Piper and Alba Fire right now. So she done beat up her security. So I don't see Zelina breaking that no time soon, especially with her just getting back. So now to answer your question, I would definitely say the Pitbull Ivy Nile could definitely take the strap off of Lyra. Yep, no doubt.
Griff?
I'm going to go a different route with this one. I'm going to say Zelina is the bigger threat because Chelsea needs backup to be someone that's real small and tiny. And it's Zelina time. That's my girl. So I think, Zelina's experience and what she's been through, she can conquer those two backups that Chelsea got because Chelsea seemed more scared to deal with her, and then anything else. So I'm going with Zelina.
I appreciate both sides of that, guys. I'm not even going to take a vote just because I appreciate y'all taking both sides.
But we all know where Chelsea's going. We all know where that story, that they're building a story out of this. So this is going to happen.
You said this last week, and I was going to ignore it, but I had to hear what you were trying to say about this because you were saying that Piper is going to split off from Chelsea Green.
Yeah, because the signs are there. Because obviously they always plant the seed. Whoever get eliminated at Royal Rumble. Obviously, Piper eliminated Chelsea on accident. But no, I'm saying just that's where to start. But and then it was the 1 week where she was, where she came out. She already had a match with Tiff, and she had to get her clothes on. She was out there being sloppy. She's basically slacking on her pimping, trying to watch Chelsea's back, which is why Elba Fire had to be called in. So it's I can see it to where, hey, Piper, you're not doing your job. She's gonna try to lean more toward Alba's side. That's why I asked Griff last week about how he felt about the alliance. I'm just saying that this is another way for possibly for Piper to break back off into her singles mode, out of this security stick. Yep, that's where I was.
It's a long way off, but I see it. It's out there, but I see it. But okay, I give you the credit if it comes through for sure. I'm intrigued. All right, last question is Rhea Ripley steals the contract thinking that possession in this moment is 9/10 of the law. hoping that possession will put her name into the match. I don't know. Do we want a triple threat here? I know we talked about the slaps and all of these things over the last couple of weeks between the three of us, but do we actually want this triple threat, or do we want Rhea versus Io, Io versus Bianca, Bianca versus Rhea? What do we want here, Griff?
Because the title is in Io's hand. At this point, the triple threat. If the title was still in Rhea's hand, then Bianca and Rhea. Bianca and Rhea is something special to see, but the triple threat right now, all because Io's in the equation, and also this is like Io's coming out party. I think Io's last title run, in my opinion, was not as stellar as it should have been, with her few matches and then being part of Damage Control. But this is more of a coming out of her because technically she alone, what I'm saying, nothing against Dakota, but technically she's alone. And this is more of a coming out party with her against these two superstars. So yeah, triple threat for me.
Coach?
I sat there and I did say the money match for Mania was Rhea and Bianca. I'm very, very shocked that they're going this route, but seeing them three in the ring, the chemistry, they have the relationship, they have the potential to tear the house down with those three in there. So I'm okay with it now. Obviously, with the wild storyline, they're gonna obviously Adam Pearce we'll find a way to get Rhea in this match in the coming weeks. So we still got time to find the right way to get her in there. But those three can be in there. But as I said, this Bianca heel turn, I'm praying for it. She can turn heel and possibly win it. Win it off of Io. That will be the payoff outcome for me. If they're gonna do it, I want Bianca to win, but win it as a heel.
It looks like they're trending that way because I think Bianca said something on Monday Night Raw the other night, and Brussels booed her, and I was like, "Whoa, what was that?" And so, just the way the storyline is playing out, even if you didn't want to turn Bianca yet, like she's already turned now, like you got to heel now because it seems though that the two bigger ladies in this situation, you know what I mean by bigger, are abusing the smaller person in this situation. So you want to root for Io, thinking that she's the face or she's the underdog. And it's like, why? Why do we have to get there? And the reason I say why is because if we were gonna have Bianca added to a triple threat, why didn't we just put her in with Naomi and Jade? It's right there. It's the conversation already. Like, why do we need to insert Bianca into the women's championship match with the Royal Rumble win? Like, don't have her win Royal Rumble or whatever she won. What she win? Elimination Chamber, right? Whatever. Don't have her win that. Have her stick with the Naomi and Jay conversation. Have Io win at Elimination Chamber, and now you got Io and Rhea at WrestleMania, and you got a more telling storyline in the Jade, Naomi, Bianca stuff that's happening. So I'm a little confused as to why she was added. I'm not mad about it, but I'm just I thought it was going in a different direction. I saw it in a different direction.
Yeah.
Just intrigued why we went this way.
So do you feel that way? And I'm gonna ask you this question, Jackie, because based on me and Griff's conversation last week, you remember when I said I still think at the end of the day Bianca is the source. It's the cahoots are still there with Naomi. Naomi took one for the team. What do you think? Do you think Bianca is still the mastermind and orchestrator?
No, because of the BET award worthy performance that they put on a couple weeks ago when Naomi called her a bitch and everything. Like you don't say all of that if Bianca's the culprit. You don't say all that if Naomi's doing it for The Rock in this moment, right? If she's covering up for Bianca, you don't go through all of that stuff emotionally just to turn around and say it was Bianca too. I don't see it happening like that.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong, Griff. You see it a different way?
Yeah, I see it differently, and here's the reason why. A couple things real quick. I want to go back, and I don't know if I mentioned this on the show before. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Bianca and Rhea are very close friends off camera. Like, I have seen them literally pull up to arenas before and do dart matches together and hang out together. Certain shows, especially when Bianca's not. So I think it's a deeper end story coming on. I think some of it was coming out when they were going back and forth. So I think that's thing there. But I think this is an old Shawn Michaels Triple H trick in the book. I got to do a catapult because, like I was telling Coach last week, Naomi said all those things about Jay. Now, I'm feeling like if you really felt this way about Jay and said, I did it and, bump her. So she came to the ring, dog, I'm meeting her halfway in the entrance and we knocking. Like, if I don't like you, like, I ain't not waiting for you to get to the ring and start running from you. I'm knocking. So it kind of gave me like all right, let me see where this is really going, because it kind of gave me indication. Again, I could be wrong, but it kind of gave me an indication like it's more to this than just Naomi doing this, all because, Naomi said some powerful stuff about, like, she literally said, I hate her. That's the reason I took her out. And the minute her music hit, she should have been halfway through that ring and did it, and she didn't do that. That's just me. But,
but she had to make it seem like she wasn't the one that did it, right? Like the whole time we were trying to figure out who it was. And if her music hits and Naomi immediately runs and starts fighting, then it's like, oh, okay, we know who it was. But at least with the suspense of how they did it, you were confused because Liv Morgan standing right there with the exact same reaction that Naomi had. So it's like, really, who is it that's happening there? I agree with you. If she really hated her, she could have handled it a different way. But with the way that they went, I'm still a little confused as to the addition.
No. I want to talk about.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
The SmackDown one. Yeah, when she came on SmackDown. Yeah,
I know what you're saying. But I mean, she still got to play it off as though it's not her in the situation. You know what I mean? She still got to play it off. So,
but did y'all see Asuka and Kyrie tweet when Jay came back? Did y'all see that?
Nah,
no, I missed that. I missed that one. I didn't know.
So Asuka and Kyrie, the Kabuki Warriors, had a tweet. They was together, and I guess like Asuka tweeted a picture of Jay laid out on the car, and she said something like, "Maybe it could have been us." Or something like that. It was a troll.
They was trolling. They was trolling.
It was like,
they're ridiculous on the internet, those two, especially Asuka. But I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Well, let's get on out of here, boys. This one has been fun. Wrestling is indeed still cool, man.
Cool.
We've enjoyed every moment on this road to WrestleMania, and we cannot wait to see what happens here in a little more than a month. Is that where we at? A little more, a little less?
We under
somewhere near a month is where we're at. So
30 days from the night. Yeah,
there we go.
30 days from the night.
Somewhere in there. But yeah, let's get on out of here. Griff, let the people know where they can find you, man.
Yes, sir. IG, Instagram, GriffNation84, and also on X, formerly known as Twitter, CGriff84.
Coach?
All right, you can catch me on Instagram at Coach Montay24.
You can follow me on Instagram and on X at Jackie Miles 42. Follow us all on X and on Instagram at Ebony Championship Wrestling and on Ebony Championship Rest. Make sure that you hit the bell and make sure that you click the button so that you are notified every time that the boys hit your screen. Like, share, and subscribe these videos out. We appreciate all the love and support. And this is Ebony Championship Wrestling signing off. But Coach, let them know.
You know we never tapping out.
Not once. Y'all. We appreciate y'all, all the love and support. We'll see y'all next time. Peace out.
Peace.
Thank you.